Yes, team, welcome back. And we are here for another hot seat with the man, the myth, the legend, Scott. Absolute A grade client from day one. And it was incredible 12 months to say the least. But Scott, do you want to just give everyone a bit of an intro, kind of like who you are, so people can just get a bit of better understanding about that?
Hi, Simon. Thank you for that setup. And yeah, so my name's Scott, and I'm a psychotherapist, and been practicing for over 11 years. And in terms of my fitness, I'm in my 50s now, and I've been going to the gym since I was in my early 20s. So it's something that's been a part of my lifestyle and something that I've enjoyed. Um, and I've had some experience working with trainers in person before, but this was my working with aesthetic strengths was my first time working online, which I was curious about, and had some reservations because it was something different and something I hadn't tried before. But after 12 months, I can honestly say it has been a game changer. And I've learned so much from working with Simon and the team over the past 12 months. And yeah, I'd just be sort of delighted to talk about the challenges, but also the benefits that I've experienced during this time.
Absolutely. I love that. And yeah, the results have been nothing short of incredible, to say the least. I really love what you touched on there with there's some challenges, because I always say we post these amazing transformations on social media, and people always think, oh, I couldn't do that. My life's too busy.
Mm.
Oh, I don't know if I can do that. But I can hands down say that every single transformation that we have ever posted, for lack of a better word, has been messy. There's been ups, there's been downs, there's been roundabouts, there's been you questioning if you could do it. Do you want to just give everyone a little bit more of a kind of insight into where were you personally, professionally, health and fitness wise before reaching out to us?
So before reaching out, I guess I'm very results driven. I'm very determined, and I think I'm 53 years old, and uh, just noticing that things are a little bit more harder to achieve. And I was in good shape, but it wasn't good enough. And I like to be the best. And I think my health and well-being is really important to me. And having worked as a psychotherapist, psychologist, I've worked a lot on my mind in the past 10 years. And now the next part in the puzzle was to really focus on mind and body integration. And for me, it's developing that body wisdom in knowing, having a better relationship with my body, which means eating better food, sleeping better, and having a more sort of strategic and scientific approach to my fitness. And I think that's where I've really learned a lot from working with aesthetic strengths and yourself, Simon, is just understanding with the workouts and sort of pulling together all the different parts in terms of sleep, nutrition, drinking water, sort of daily steps, and the actual workouts themselves, and just bringing all those different pillars and integrating them so that what you really have is a cohesive and holistic plan that actually works for you. And I think that's the key difference that I see from working with aesthetic strengths and working with a coach sort of in person is that in person you only get a piece of the pie, a piece of the strategy, and therefore the outputs are not going to be as effective in my mind. But when you've got all the credentials, all the different pieces, and pull them together, then the results are going to be better, shall I say? You're going to get the best outputs, and I think that's where the results I've achieved in the past month have been excellent. And I think it's for me it's been I've got these skills now. I've got these tools, and I can, I now know how to do it myself. So I've been empowered, which has been fantastic. And as you say, getting back to your earlier point, there's been ups and downs. It's not been easy, and you know, I mean, I think there was 2 weeks where I didn't do 4 workouts. So there was, I guess to reframe it, there was 50 weeks where I did 4 workouts and 2 weeks that I did 3 workouts. You know, if you'd asked me that at the beginning, Scott, I want you to do this. This is your program. You must deliver it. I'd have said no way. But it just shows you how you can surprise yourself. And if for me, it's like, wow, I can achieve that. That's incredible. So it's really sort of pushing the boundaries and just unlocking your potential and surprising yourself. And I guess having completed the 12-month program, have I surprised myself? Absolutely. Am I happy with myself? Absolutely. Is the results in terms of how I look? Absolutely. It's been great. So I was in pretty good shape, but now I'm in, I'm in an optimal place in terms of how I feel about myself. And it's not just about the aesthetics; it's about what you feel on the inside as well. It's your self-worth. And then there's also your self-esteem. It's like how you feel about when you're being judged by the other. And, so my self-worth and self-esteem are in a great place. I'm in my 50s and I'm probably in the best shape I've been in terms of how I feel about myself and how I, think about myself. And, there's a real place of harmony there. And, working with yourself and working with aesthetic strengths has really got me to this great place. And I'm now sort of skilled. I've got the tools to do this. So yeah, thank you.
I love that. Well, one, thank you for the kind words. It's so interesting. And for context here for people, as the time of recording this, what was it, probably about 2 months since we finished up?
Yes.
Actually working together. And the best thing that you said to me is that you've managed to maintain your body weight, body fat levels bang on. Yes, training hasn't been quote unquote perfect, but it's been consistent. But you're also going through massive life changes, stressful, which could have knocked the average person completely off track. But you haven't. Why? Because you trusted the process. You saw out of 12 months. We ran our like priming phase, our dieting phase, reverse diet, maintenance phase. You trusted the process. Now, what were the biggest things you were kind of skeptical about before starting?
Well, it's like, how does this work? How do you, I've only ever seen people working in person, so it's like, how does it work when it's online? And yeah, just not having an understanding of the mechanics. Like, so there's the app that has everything, that has all your tick boxes in it that you need to tick off every day, every week. There's the monthly check-in calls. And one-to-ones, but yeah, before that you've got your weekly check-in. You're filling out the form. So it's just unsure in terms of how it all worked. But I have to say, yeah, I guess it's taking that leap of faith, but it's not just the leap of faith in aesthetic strengths. It's a leap of faith in yourself. Trusting yourself, and yeah, I think if you want to get the best results, and if you want to be able to train yourself at the end of the day, it's a really good investment, in terms of your time, your money as well, but you're going to get a lot more out of it. And I think that's where, for me, the difference between online and in-person coaching is that you're going to get the strategy. You're buying the tools to do it yourself. And when I go to the gym, I'm just aghast sometimes about, it's like, this is more of a talking therapy session than an actually working out, or it's just a general chit chat, really. So, when I'm at the gym, I observe the trainers there, and I'm just looking at going, you're not getting good value for money here. And I think that's the other thing, but in terms of working online, it's probably overall cheaper, and the
100%.
what you get in terms of skills and outputs and results is better. So it's an investment, but it's a better investment. And I think that's the message that I'd really um, sort of communicate, is that yes, when you look at it, perhaps when you're looking at it, looking at the big picture, how much is this for the year? But my goodness, it's a better investment. Like, what you get in return is far, far better. And I've done online coaching and I've done in person, and you know, anyone I speak to, I say, do the online. It's a much better experience. You'll learn a lot more, and it's a complete package. It's a holistic plan. It's a full strategy, and at the end of it, you can do it yourself.
Yeah, 100%. I always say it sounds stupid, but our genuine goal is to put ourselves out of a job. And if we do our job right, eventually you shouldn't need us. But you're so right in terms of the way I describe it is, like, you can talk about this with any investment. You want to see a return on your investment, whether you're investing your time, whether you're investing energy, whether you're investing financially. We're here to almost be like your fitness financial advisors, so that if you invest your time, your effort, your energy financially into this, we make sure that you get the best return. That's the way you look, the way you feel, but also the knowledge, the skills, the resources to be able to go and do this on your own, which, safe to say, you've managed to achieve. So let's touch on that. Physically, what kind of results did we see?
So I was physically, my body composition was not bad, but I was around about 74 kilos, and I dropped to 68 when we did the cut, and then with the bulking phase, I went up to about 69, 70. So and I've maintained that since. So I think that's been about since August, I think April last year, we started to do the bulk and the reverse diet. And so my body composition is leaner and there's more definition. So I think, looking better, shall we say.
100%. It's sorry, whenever I speak to someone about the journey and I need to show them what a journey would look like from a scale journey, I literally show them a screenshot of your graph, because we started out mid-Jan, 74 kilos. Lowest weighing we ever have was mid-March, and we got down to 65. That's that fat loss phase we do. We then obviously just bumped up a little bit, which is always normal. But then we managed to maintain around that kind of 67 kilo mark for about 3 or 4 months. But the amount of food that we were eating went up drastically. Metabolism was firing, and then we just slowly gained weight. But how different you looked up at 70 kilos after the bulking phase to how different you looked at 70 kilos at the beginning is like chalk and cheese. It's absolutely crazy. What would you say was the biggest thing you learned / helped you when it came to the training side of things?
So I mean, I think it's just understanding how the different pillars work. I mean, it's kind of obvious, but then it's just joining those dots of, if you sleep better, you're going to wake up, you're not going to be hungry. If you start on the back foot and you're exhausted and you're fatigued, you're going to eat more, and then you're going to put on more weight. And so it's just how the different parts of us sort of work effectively together or not. And sort of bringing that in, so it's, and my diet is completely changed, nutrition has completely changed. My diet's completely changed as well. But just in terms of eating whole foods, and like I say, I've built this body wisdom. If I eat better, I process it better and I sleep better. I think these are the parts that you don't really think about when you're doing in-person training, or we don't talk about. So it's like everything outside the gym, which is incredibly important. And it's like, well, if I'm going to get the best results, I really need to understand these pillars as well. So I think it's because I've been doing the gym for 30 years, so it's I understand the workouts. But it's how you bring all those workouts together as well, and doing upper body, lower body, and also if you're time poor, it's like, well, these are the exercises to do. If you're only doing 3 workouts, do these 3 workouts. So so again, it's being smart and understanding how it all works. And I think, just sort of having a formulated strategy for yourself that works for you is incredibly important.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's priceless, and that there is no one size fits all when it comes to health and fitness. There's fundamentals, there's pillars that we need, but
Mm,
how that pillar looks for you, and also the most important part is then how we integrate it for you is completely different, like completely different person to person. And I always say that, like you've kind of mentioned, I think that's the difference between in person and online.
mm,
Is in person, one, it's like this tiny little percentage. If you're working with a good PT, it's probably £60 an hour realistically in the UK, or
mm,
$60 an hour. You need to see them at least 3 times a week for it to even be worth doing it.
mm,
£180 or dollars a week, but they're only ever going to speak about training. Okay. And quite often they're stood there going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or they're on their
mm,
freaking phone behind you. Um, the biggest thing that blows my mind is this chat about nutrition. It goes, how was your nutrition this week? And you go, I was okay through the week, but I slipped up at the weekend. And you go, don't do it again.
mm.
Or eat more
Yeah,
protein. There's no actually integration of, okay, we need to have more protein, but this is how you're going to do that with the meals that you're eating. Okay.
yeah.
So I completely agree. I think your biggest superpower out of what I've seen over the last 12 months was your consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But
Mm-hmm.
that's why you got the results that you did. You constantly lent in, you constantly asked questions, you never stayed stuck. You were open, you were honest, transparent with it. What do you feel some tactical takeaways would be for people to help them be more consistent with their training and nutrition?
Um, I think push yourself, believe in yourself. Um, I'm very action orientated, so I think if you're not, then use I guess the program more, use your trainer more, ask for help, and I guess just maybe I mean the app's the thing that keeps you accountable. Um, So yeah, I think it's finding it within, like working out what the barriers are, and it might be something about feelings based and not feeling like it, and so then it's like, so dig deeper and ask yourself, so why am I not feeling okay? What's the barrier there? So yeah, self inquiry and reaching out to your trainer, and I guess having a friend that's you can be accountable as well could be a good thing as well. But yeah, I think for me, I don't know, I'm just very results orientated, and I think I guess the other thing is, if you're investing time and money into this,
Yeah.
the only person that if you want the best result, I hopefully the buy-in to the program is going to be a motivator as well.
Yeah.
It's gonna get you going to the gym, even when it's dark and cold outside or raining, or you'd rather just stay in. It's like, I've got to do this. I think for me it was like, I'm spending this money, and I'm I want the results. I'm hungry for the results. So you got to be hungry. So don't sign up if you're not hungry, I guess, is my thing.
And I think there's a lot of people who think they want to do it. When it comes to it, they don't. It's
Yeah.
there's a
Well, they
question
want
that,
the end result, don't they? But it's
yeah,
like, you got to, if you want the end result, you got to invest. You got to do it.
you got to do the work. Funnily enough, it's. But I would say to people, like, it's all hard. Not having the body shape that you want is difficult. Not having the self-esteem, the self-confidence that you want is difficult.
Mm.
Not having the energy that you want is difficult. But guess what? Like, more than anybody, sticking to your calories is hard. There's days where you're hungry. There's days where you can't be bothered. Going to the gym is hard. We had a number
Yeah.
of back niggles that kind of crept up and we had to work around them. It's all difficult. You just get to choose your hard. And I know which one I would choose, and I know which one you chose. Okay, and
Mm.
continue to choose that hard. But it's whether you want to settle. There's a question that's come up a number of times recently with clients, and I've just asked them, what if they're struggling to stay consistent? It's, what's the downside to you achieving your goals?
Yeah.
Because if you can identify what that potential downside is it you think that you can't still enjoy the foods you have? Is it you think maybe you have to say goodbye to friends that don't no longer kind of support you? You'll constantly sabotage, but you don't understand. If you can understand what those downsides are and you can live with those, then we can help you kind of work around them. So this was very much a journey of kind of good to great, which I love, and that's my favorite person to coach. And I've enjoyed this journey so much. What would your advice to someone who's in a good position? Maybe they're training regularly, just like you were, but they've got something inside of them that's like, I know I could do a little bit better, but maybe I could do it on my own. What would your advice to them be?
I think, well, so for me, I I had a good idea about the strategy, but I didn't know the strategy inside out, and I didn't know it well. And and if you're time poor, there's always something else that needs to be done. Like everyone's got a to-do list. So if you just need that little bit of support to go from, yeah, you're in a good place, but you want to be great, and I wanted to be great, then this really helped me to get to that level. So I've now got the body wisdom, I've now got the knowledge, I understand the strategy, I understand the different pillars in terms of diet, nutrition, sleep, training. And yeah, I think just if you want to get to that next level, then aesthetic strengths is really a great organization to reach out to help you to get to that. So yeah, I think if you're not in a good place, and you're sort of it's not so great, then it's going to be more of a challenge. But yeah, you're going to get closer to that end goal for sure. And the results are like the transformation opportunity is going to be bigger. And therefore, I think that's where a 12-month program really comes into it. So because you need that time to go from not so great to great, rather than good.
Not so great to good to great. But then on the other
Exactly.
side, I think the reason why seeing out that journey, trusting the process, and why you're like an A-grade client in this perspective of this is, when we got to that maintenance phase, you kind of think like I remember us having a conversation. You're like, I think I'm there. I kind of know what I'm doing. And I'm like, you just have to wait to almost what I say is like stress test the system.
Sure. Yeah.
Getting in shape is like a recipe, and that there's a million ways to make a spaghetti bolognese, but how you make it is a little bit different. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, and
Yes.
how you cook it. But we need to, for lack of a better, we need something to happen personally. We need something to happen
Yeah.
professionally, so that when we see like, okay, everyone's good when they're good, but when shit hits the fan, what happens? So you've proven again and again and again now, which is why I'm so confident that like this is a tick. You genuinely graduated when you finished up. It was a celebration of how far you've come, because you had ups, you had downs, you dealt with them, you stayed consistent, you kept moving forward. You've mentioned body wisdom here so many times, and it's a phrase you said to me. I absolutely loved it. What is body wisdom to you, so that people listening this can truly understand?
So it's about there's different parts to us, and it's understanding those different parts. And I guess body wisdom is it's about understanding the different senses, the different thoughts and feelings. It's about having a better relationship, and that's physically and emotionally with your body. And we base a lot of our decisions on feelings. So it's about understanding those feelings, because if you can bring your mind and your body and the feelings closer together, then there's going to be a place of more harmony, and you're going to feel better about yourself, and you're going to make better decisions. So I think a lot of us are very cognitive heavy, and our body's telling us lots of information. Don't wear those shoes, they're too tight. But guess what? I like the look of them, so I'm going to just squeeze into them and wear them for the whole day. But I'm just going to ignore the pain. So that's just an example of not listening to your body. And I think this is our home, not to get too philosophical, but our body's our home. It is important that we respect it and look after it so that it works for us rather than working against. And when I talk about body wisdom, I'm just really mean about listen to your mind, listen to your gut and your heart as well as your mind. And when you're working out and training, it's really important to listen to it. And what's it telling you? Does it hurt? Does it feel good? Can you push yourself a little bit more? So it's just having a better relationship with your body and understanding it and working with it rather than against it. And because we live in this digitized world, we're very cognitive heavy. We're looking at screens all the time, and we don't listen to our body. So it's about listen to your body and develop that better relationship. And that's body wisdom to me is having a better relationship with your body.
I absolutely love that. I couldn't agree more. I think you'll be a very interesting person to ask this question. What comes first, body or mind?
Um, Being a therapist, I'm very much in the mind, understanding the mind. But it's almost like the two have to come together. So it's not about one over the other. It's about bringing this. This is where a lot of disharmony, dis-ease, discomfort is when there's a big gap between the mind and the body. And if you bring those pillars closer together and integrate them, this is where you're going to be in a place of better harmony. And I think this is where aesthetic strengths came into me, because it helped bring my two pillars closer together in terms of mind and body, and helped me develop greater wisdom, which I'll carry with me for the rest of my life.
I love that. I absolutely love that. It's very interesting you mentioned that, because most of the individuals listening to this, the people that we work with, they either have previously been in great shape, whether it be sports when they were younger,
Mm-hmm.
or used to train, life's got busy, work, family, maybe injury, just fallen off track. And there's a massive element of, they look in the mirror and they don't like what they see. There's an element of guilt. There's an element of shame. And I think it's so
Mm.
closely related to what you say in terms of feeling that distance between what's up here and what's physically.
Yeah.
And the more that we can look in the mirror, be proud of what we see, and have the harmony inside our head, because if we control our thoughts, we control our actions, we control our actions, control our results. So I genuinely think that's absolute gold. And I really, really appreciate your time, Scott. Anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah. So I will say that for someone to enjoy their living, enjoy their life, you have to work on the different pillars, and you have to go to the gym, but you also have to work on your mind and listen to your body. So the body and mind. It's important to do both. And working with aesthetic strengths has helped me to bring those pillars closer together. I think bringing the body and mind together and having the knowledge of working online and the different parts, has, as I say, it's brought me to this better place of harmony and so greater wisdom with my mind and body. So thank you.
You're welcome. If people wanted to start working on their mind, but maybe didn't feel comfortable reaching out to a therapist, like a therapist, whatever it might be, or didn't financially have the means, where's a great place they could start?
I think just do some reading, just read some book. There's lots of self-help books out there. And I think, have a conversation with yourself, but also have a conversation with your friends and talk about your feelings, and a good place to start is feelingswheel.com, and just think about, how do I feel today, and what have been the dominant feelings I've been feeling all week? Have I been happy? Have I been sad? Have I been excited? Have I been angry? Have I been disgusted? And so just to put some language around what it is that you're feeling, and also what you're thinking. Do I think negatively a lot? Do I criticize myself a lot? So just start with the basics. Like, look at a feelings wheel and just ask yourself, what is it that I've been feeling, and then sort of draw some conclusions from that, and talk to your friends, use your friends and family as support.
I agree. And that's stuff that I'm working on. Full transparency, everyone, is expressing my emotions, asking for help earlier, understanding the thoughts that happen in my own head as well. So that feelings will definitely help me. I don't know when you mentioned it on one of our calls. And last question, and I won't take up any more of your time. If you had to describe the program in 3 words, what would it be? Put you on the
Brilliant, inspiring, and I'm going to use another life-changing.
I love that. Well, Scott, look, I really appreciate your time. I know this will be a massive inspiration and hopefully give people a little bit of perspective in bringing the body and the mind together. Because I know fitness is such a big thing we all speak about, but I think people do forget the mind and how they're integrated together. So I think there is so much value in here, and I really appreciate your time.
You're very welcome. Thanks, Simon.